because there's a circuit now. But Nigel, let's not take our eye off on the metal screen as well, because all kinds of stocks, PSU, non-PSU, ferrous, non-ferrous, everything is surging. Picking up anything specific or just trading momentum?
You know, Surbhi, on the day that we had the Supreme Court verdict, I recall I made this point that the metal stocks have got knocked, but they haven't got knocked out, because that retrospective penalty, the breathing space was given that they can pay it within the next 12 years or so. So it wasn't a one-time hit. And from there, all those stocks are much higher in comparison to the lows that we saw on the day of the Supreme Court verdict. Now, in today's session, the metal stocks are at the day's high and the index as well. So I've put down 4 broad reasons. The first up is the commentary that came in from the Fed chair, Jerome Powell. He said that the time has come for rate adjustments. The street liked that very much because the dollar index is softer. And also there is optimism that we're going to see rate cuts. That's normally positive for metals, and that's why that's the global factor at play. Point number 2, China is always of prime importance, right? What's going on there? Now, there was some commentary that came in over the weekend, and that was that China has halted any kind of approvals for new steel capacity. That is good, because as of now, supply is way more than demand. So there's not going to be more approvals, then that will be good news as well. So that's why, in fact, that's good for the ferrous space. Also, we have seen a sharp correction, both in steel as well as in iron ore prices. But in the last week or so, you've seen a bit of a bounce on HRC, billet, rebar, even on iron ore. Those prices are up close to around 3%. So the China factor is positive in the right direction. The third factor, base metal prices have bounced. A softer dollar is normally good for base metal. And that's why you've seen, whether aluminium, zinc, copper, all of them have moved up. There is some supply curtailment as well that we have seen. In fact, Chinese zinc smelters, they are contemplating shutting down some of their production to stem the losses, which is very, very good for Hindustan Zinc and in turn good for Vedanta as well. Aluminium prices, by the way, in the last month or so, they're up close to 15% from the lows that we saw at the end of July. So that's been a good bounce that we've seen out there. And point number 4 is the domestic factor. JSW Steel has announced that they've gone ahead and they've increased rebar prices by 750 rupees per ton. This is good news because we're still in monsoon season. Normally, you expect this in the second half of September. So there is some confidence that's coming back there. And that will be positive when rebar prices move up. It's positive for long product prices as well. So that was a pleasant surprise. And Jindal Stainless, they went ahead and they've increased a part of their mix or series mix out there of around 304, 316 series. That's the term that's given out there, by 3,000 rupees per ton. Input costs have gone up. Nickel prices have gone up. So that's why they've increased prices. So put these 4 factors together. The metal index is at the high point of the day, and a lot of those stocks are flying away as we speak. Well, let's get in our guest on the show then, Sudeep Bandyopadhyay.